Today, Kramtuma Chris. Hi everybody, new name here. Playing my favorite game, Watcher of Realms. Just greeting any of our Khmer from Cambodia speaking people at the channel today. And in this upload, I'm going to show you how to take care of that jerk and pull his tail right off because I don't want him to have any reason to come back again. But he keeps showing up is this Laseer boss. And I'm going to show you how powerful A5 Wrath is actually. Nightmare Void. Now, I've beaten this boss for the first time using A5 Wrath. I couldn't do it without what I deduced on my own, and I've continued to employ the same placement and strategy with Wrath all the way through Nightmare. So now that the game's given us a Bugatti for 2024 and Boreas, it's even easier for me. What you see Boreas doing, I used to use Comet. And in case you're not familiar, I'm going to show you how super powerful true damage procs from Nocturne are in this battle. And if you're having any kind of struggle and you have some of these heroes, especially Boreas and A5 Wrath, this fight is a joke. If you're on normal or you're on elite, these two placements are pivotal. This will make or break your runs every time. This becomes a loot farm after you see this placement with A5 Wrath if you're not familiar. And you'll notice I have two healers. Some people, they'll bring a Dolores and they want to use a set ram. I don't have a bonded Silas, so I don't utilize that strategy. My Nocturne is strong enough, and I'll show you all the gear at the end of this. Now, you'll watch Wrath. Just before this mob is ready to hit him, my Wrath has his ultimate up, so he's starting to heal immediately. And if you're not familiar with A5 Wrath, that's what he can do. He can guard a core, block a lane, and take care of himself for a little bit. Depending how you have him built and the content you're doing, he doesn't ever need a healer. My Wrath and Nightmare Laseer fight needs a healer. But as you saw, he doesn't need it right away. So I'm going to put my Vortex down here, facing up so that he covers this tile right here, because that's where I stick my Nocturne to fight the boss. So you're going to watch what I can do with Boreas now. I'm going to engage his ultimate, which lasts forever. And you might be concerned, like, how do you deal with these spawn guys? So Comet, his curse bounce, so he can take care of them. But they spit out some of those slimes we don't like. However, Boreas freezes them. So the fact that he freezes them, you'll notice, it interrupted their channel. So they have to start their channel timer all the way again. And then Boreas freezes them again. And they're starting to get mad. You can tell they're like, hey, wait a second here now. Like, we're trying to bring out slimes, okay? And as you notice, all I did was plop Boreas down and hit his ultimate. And he's dealing with these guys pretty good, okay? So I'm not super concerned right now about these slimes because you saw they've been petrified because of Boreas and his massive, actually overpowered, outlandishly sized passive range, okay? Or his attack range, pardon me. So you'll also notice I'm not going to put my tank down yet. I don't want my tank to block this slime that's coming. I don't want them to pile up because they'll do more damage to my tank while he's trying to deal with the boss. I'm also going to start my ultimates early with Nocturne and Zealatu. So once this last slime passes by, see how it's kind of petrified now? Now I'll put my Brokir in. In case you don't know, Brokir, when he engages his ultimate, okay, he turns himself with a shield. And as soon as that shield expires, because I have him awaken 1, it can freeze this boss. So the seer will be interrupted and not cast his AoE screen wipe, okay? If you're having issues with that as well. So you'll notice here that I'm going to engage all my ultimates very early. So once Brokir, his cheat death here, is complete, and the boss has faced him, I can put my Valeria down. All right? So Brokir is already getting healed back up. Now I'm going to engage his shield. So when that shield finishes, Brokir will freeze Laseer. So here comes his Erosive Blast. So just in case to help out. And the Void Torrent, oh no, I've got Elowen's Elf helping. Now obviously I have an endgame lineup, but this is the Nightmare strategy, as you've noticed, that has worked for me. And look at Boreas. There's so much action going on the boss, you might have forgotten what Boreas is actually doing for us here. So I'm just going to use the ultimates. Not necessarily that I need to, but you'll see I'm going to pull the tank out of the way now. And in case you don't know about Nocturne, during his ultimate, it spreads his attack radius. So this one slime that's coming here, Nocturne, oh, what are you doing? You trying to sneak up on us? Get out of here. This is why Nocturne is so powerful in this fight. He does true damage as well. He has a chance to proc true damage, meaning it ignores all resistances against target. It's true damage, so it can't have crit damage. It won't crit, okay? But it hits hard. So again, Boreas with his 98-minute long ultimate, I'm just going to have him here helping interrupt. Now the problem with this fight is, once you've petrified these slimes, you'll see sometimes in chat or you hear your friends or it'll happen to you and you'll be like, I've killed everything. But it says I've done 21 out of 21. You have to kill all the petrified units that are on the board as well. So occasionally you're going to have to pull heroes off the map. Now, another thing that you can do in this fight is you can take like one of these heroes like Nocturne out of here and stick him over here so that he's killing one of these portal summoners. I'm going to put it on ×2 now. The fight's over. This is GG, okay? And you saw I two-shot this fight. The first time I went to make sure I had my strategy down, and then when I recorded it. Obviously, I have strong heroes and very powerful gear. But you'll notice that Wrath was never really in any danger. And Boreas made it so that there was no slimes piling up all over the map. So there was no concern with, when they start amalgamating and then all of a sudden there's that big chomper slime and you're like, oh man, this is the only part I can't do. You can do it. As long as you limit what these guys spawn out on the right side, the stage is super easy. So Comet can work over here. I used to use Hex and Silas facing north and south, up and down on each other to take care of these. But once Boreas came into the game, I don't even use Comet anymore. It's not necessary. So you see how this big slime formed. But Valeria has a cheat death. So I just engage her cheat death while she's doing mad damage. So that slime has been petrified. So you'll see now, I can't hit this one slime or whatever this guy is over here. Okay, I can put my Brokir down to do it, but Boreas is going to do his little fart freezies, and hopefully he'll just extinguish this guy's life force. Because you'll see my tank isn't doing much. So there's obviously other strategies that you can do with that, whereas you can one heal it and put your Dolores where my Elowen is. But I like Elowen. Elowen adds 3% rage with her passive globally. Everybody on the map. She doesn't have to heal them. She doesn't have to do anything but stand there and plant her roots. So if you don't care, I'm going to show you the gear after. And I have one ancient summon, so before I do the gear, I'll pop the summon for the fun of it. And also I have to get my Nocturne on the map to take care of this one slime you see at the middle north here. And that's the fun about doing the Laseer fight. Once you have a strategy down for yourself, you make it quicker and quicker by just interchanging one hero. But Nocturne, if you have Nocturne, mine's A3, I'm very fortunate. You don't have to have him max skills or anything. If you're not on Nightmare Fight, bring Nocturne and stand him where I did. Give him a Dolores, give him an auto. He'll just wreck that boss for you. So thank you very much. I hope this guide has helped you along the way. We'll see what the last loot is that I get here. Maybe I get a nice exclusive artifact. Who knows? Okay, we're going to open it together, and then we'll open up our two ancient summon shards that I have. Glacial Wings. Who is Glacial Wings? I have this hero. When the ultimate is not activated, she gains 3-second shield equal to... Wow. That just changes my Northern Faction Trial Stage 12. I might not need Mari anymore because Valkyria has a bit of a shield. I'll find out. So anyways, that's kind of exciting to get an exclusive I don't have for a hero that I do have. So I wish you all the best. I wish you all a Soul Cadence. I really need a Twin Fiend. I'm going to try 2 times here and see what happens. Probably 2 Neros. Spring is one of them. These are, they're 30 diamonds. I'm okay with that. Come on. An epic? Some kind of something good. Anything? Nero. Always shows up. You don't really have to call him. You don't need a magic 8-ball or a crystal ball. It's usually Nero in my experience. Now for the gear. So again, Nocturne is Awaken 3. And I have a pretty powerful, almost max tier of Twilight on the hero. And he's also in my best Soulbound Arcana set. He's got 19,500 attack. I don't know if that much is necessary, but you see how powerful he was. He's like three-shotting even the petrified mobs, okay? So if you really want to see, I'll go kind of quickly. I have the same set all the time on my hex. This is what I run hex in almost everywhere. I change a few things, okay? But as you saw, it functions very well on Nocturne. So Valkyria is in a busted set, but she's got some serious attack at 25.5k attack, okay? She doesn't attack super quickly, but she hits hard enough that you saw, and she's almost crit cap. Not much damage, but it does what I need it to do. However, for fun, I tried her exclusive that I picked up a couple weeks back. Just adds crit damage, okay? So Zillitu, she has one of my 2 Wailing Skulls I've ever made. Out of 512 or something crafting, I have 2 Wailing Skulls. But Zillitu here is in a pretty decent Infernal Roar set. Okay, I'm way over crit cap, but I can't under crit. Pardon me, I can't change this to an attack bonus ring or bangle, or I go like to 80% crit, and that not happening. I've tried, it doesn't work. Either over crit or change your set. In my experience, anyways. But you'll see in her total stat, she's 15k basically. She's pretty quick, okay? A little bit of the crit damage on her there. It's almost 300. It helps. And those heroes, they all have max skills, all right? So my Boreas, he's got a max Unfortunate Skull. So I don't know, if you look at yours, it'll say at the first level that it's 20% received damage, while 25% outgoing. It might be a little less, but at max, you sacrifice 10% increased damage taken for 35% outgoing AoE. I think that's a great artifact, and it's worth the trade for sure. And you'll see here, my Boris, he's got a few crystals in him, but he's not maxed skilled, okay? He's fairly close. And in the gear, so that you know, crit damage bangle, I love it. I love this. This is a swap around, anybody can borrow this set kind of thing for me. That's damage dealer, okay? That big chunk of rage regen, it helps. It helps a lot. No matter who I put it on, they're going to get their ultimate up quicker. So his 16k attack, obviously you saw, was more than enough and sufficient to take care of those channeling mobs at their portals on the right. And I don't know how your fights normally look there, but you saw mine. I don't have many slimes anymore. So again, this is the same LOM build over and over and over, okay? Huge attack. She does her job. She heals just fine. I don't know if heal effect is better than that much stacking of attack, but attack is just what I got on the Asclepius set. And I like the fact that I put my healer in healer sets. It's not necessary, but I'm at endgame. It's got me to endgame, and it helps me stay successful in endgame. So might as well just keep it, I thought. And then my Wrath is in a busted set, okay? But he's got pretty good attack for an epic, okay? And he's pretty quick. He's hitting. His damage, crit damage, is pretty good, okay? So what helps him sustain as well is this artifact, giving him a little bit of, return, like lifesteal, all right? And he's maxed. He's A5 or whatever. So Vortex, just in case you're super curious about him, my Vortex is in just something standard for, I want that chunk of that 3100 HP. That's a big chunk, okay? And people will tell you, you need your healer faster. You need your healer faster. So my healer's at 316, the Vortex. I don't know how your Nightmare Laseer fights usually look. If you're watching this guide, they're probably either you're not there or they're similar in pace to mine. But your healer does not. Look, he's got 200 crit damage. Like, you don't require your healer to be super fast. It's like leather seats in a car. The first thing you do is establish that they heal enough to keep your people alive. And the healer's job becomes easier when the people that are alive have more HP and do more damage. And eventually you'll grind your way up through farming like I did to get to the point that you just saw at Nightmare Void Boss Laseer. No problem, not even a sweat, while recording for your viewing pleasure. This was New Name playing my favorite game, Watcher Realms. Please take care, everybody. Drive safe.